So does Elle choose Berkeley with Lee or Harvard with Noah? Today we're talking through the final chapter of The Kissing Booth. Hey, it's Kristen, and today we're talking about Netflix's The Kissing Booth 3. Based on the book by Beth Reekles, and starring Joey King, Jacob Elordi, and Joel Courtney. Determined to make the most of her final summer before college, Elle plans the ultimate bucket list as she navigates what comes next with Noah and Lee. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this final film. And if you're interested, I did an interview with Joey King and Joel Courtney about this last movie, which you can check out right here. This video is an explainer, so it will contain spoilers. You've been warned. So this film, we start off with Elle still going back and forth about, does she want to go to Harvard? Does she want to go to Berkeley? Is she going to be with Noah? Is she going to be with Lee? She decides to go to Harvard with Noah and spend the summer doing a beach bucket list with Lee to sort of make up for that. But over the course of this final summer, things are changing. She's having a harder time balancing all of these people and responsibilities in her life, which ultimately ends in big blow-up fights between her and Lee and her and Noah. We do see Marco come back into the picture, and that kind of helps bring about some of this drama. But ultimately, over the course of this film, Elle needs to learn how to put herself first at times, because she's so busy thinking about, well, I don't want to disappoint this person, I don't want to disappoint this person, that she doesn't think about what she wants to do. There's a really interesting moment between Noah and Elle where they break up, but his reasoning for that is because he wants her to choose what she wants, not have her decisions be based off of him. And then that idea is further solidified when Noah and Lee's mom talks to Elle about choosing what she wants to do. What is she interested in? What's her passion? She decides to choose herself, which I think we all kind of saw coming, but I appreciated. And she doesn't go to Berkeley with Lee or Harvard with Noah. She ends up going to USC and majoring in video game development. But the story's not over yet. We flash forward 6 years. They return back to the high school. They see that the kissing booth that originally started this story is continuing on. Their legacy has continued, and my hope for that is maybe, you know, down the line we could see this series return. I think that they kind of leave that a little bit open-ended with that idea that, you know, the school is still doing the kissing booth. And we also get to see where everyone is now. Elle is a video game developer. Noah has job offers at law firms in LA and New York. She and Noah reconnect, and it sort of hints back to, you know, the ways that they have come into each other's lives and influenced each other. And then there's this hopeful maybe that the story ends on, where there's no solid answer, but, you know, we got to see a little bit of everything. We got to see Elle choose herself, and now we get to see her reconnect with the love of her life years later when she's in a different place in her life. We also get to see that Lee and Rachel are still together, they're engaged, they're getting married, and I'm really excited to share that Joel Courtney and Joey King have given a little bit more insight into the end of this story and if they may return in the future, so I'll let them take it away.
We jump ahead 6 years at the end of this film. Can you talk us through the future for Elle and her friends, and, you know, kind of why you guys went this route?
Absolutely. There's a maturing process in life, and we really like the idea of, like, you know what, some things don't work out the way that you think they will, as for Lee and Rachel, and then 6 years later we're engaged and we're back together and we're getting married and we're moving forward, and we were able to come back together, and I like the sense of, you never know what's going to happen. I really like that for the ending of our series, you know, kind of like the hopeful maybe. And I think the 6 years later kind of like sets up for that nicely.
This whole final film is who is Elle going to choose? Lee, Noah, and it's like, maybe you can have like more than one option, you know, maybe you can choose yourself. Maybe there's things in the future that you're not expecting that could come your way. So I love what you said about that hopeful maybe. You never know.
Yeah, I think it's really positive that Elle like chooses herself, prioritizes, like, wait, I need to make decisions for my life. I can't make decisions for other people. It's good to be mindful of other people. It's good to think of others, be selfless, but at the sake of like self destruction, like not really. And you can kind of see Elle going through like an emotional self-destructive phase where she's putting everything before herself and she's losing herself. And so yeah, it's like it's a really beautiful tone.
One other thing I wanted to bring up was just that idea of legacy. You know, I love that looking back now, 6 years they jump ahead, and the kids at that school are still doing the kissing booth. Do you think that there's potential to, come back down the line, and maybe, have you guys return in some way to help out with a new story?
Maybe. I mean, there could be. I'm not one to ever say never. Who phrased that best? Oh yeah, that's right. Never say never. But Justin Bieber. But yeah, I don't know if that'll ever come full circle. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I'll leave it there. That would be fun.
I'm not going to say no to anything. I mean, I don't like to look too far in the future because you just never know what's going to happen. So if someone says in like 10, 20 years, hey, you want to play Elle again? Maybe I'll be open to it. Maybe I won't, but I don't want to say no.
When it comes down to it, I think this was a very satisfying ending to the Kissing Booth trilogy. You get to see Elle choose herself. You get to see her grow and learn. And you never know, down the line as they've matured, maybe Noah and Elle will get back together. They kind of leave that open-ended. And I appreciated that because it still is a positive ending. It kind of was like they were able to give us a little bit of, she chose someone, but also she chose herself. I think it's also nice to see that they all did remain friends. And there's some people in your life that are just meant to be in your life, and that's kind of what it feels like for this group of people. If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my reviews and explainers right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!